Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Man, welcome to another episode of North of the Lake Weekly Sports Talk with your boy Money Mon, man. This is episode 11, man. It's been a great week, man. We had some great games. We had the Bayou Classic this weekend. Shout out to the Southern Jaguars and the Grambling Tigers, man, in the Bayou Classic. The Black Super Bowl, man. Shout out to the Southern Jaguars on getting the win. Man, I love the Bayou Classic. It's always a good time, man. Also, shout out to the North Shore football in Louisiana, man. Shout out to the North Shore. Mandeville got the win 56-50 over Airline. Ruston over Walker 56-17. All the scores are at the bottom. Jenna over Amy 30-7. Union Parish over Buckaloosa 28-22. Sterlington over Pine 33-20. Kentwood over Homer 48-20. U High over Lake Charles College Prep 45-13. LSU Tigers get the win over A&M 42-30. UL over ULM on 52-21. And the Southern Jaguars got that win, man. Go Jags, man. And the Saints. We're going to get into that later. Y'all know the Saints always let us down, man. The Saints are weekend killers, bro. The Saints are weekend killers, man. I thank y'all for joining another live, bro. I'm coming live from my semi truck right now. I took the show on the road once again, man. For y'all who just joining me, for all my new viewers, sometimes I come out here on this road, man. My day job is trucking, man. That's my day job is trucking. If you got any trucking questions, please DM me, email me, whatever way you can get in contact with me. If you got my number, my number is my number is on Facebook, so it's very public. So you can always hit me up if you got any questions about trucking, man. But it's been an exciting week, man. LSU went and took care of business against Texas A&M. Jaden Daniels is officially probably he should be at least the Heisman front runner right now, man. For everybody who just joining me, the scores are at the bottom for the North Shore playoff football. The Kentwood Kangaroos was the only team in Tangipahoa Parish that did get the win, man. They are the only team that is advancing to the next round, man. So shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos, man. Shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos representing Tangipahoa Parish, man. I hope y'all get to the Dome, bro. When y'all get to the Dome, I'm gonna go ahead and speak that into existence for the Kentwood Kangaroos, man. When y'all get to the Dome, I'm gonna be there to support y'all, man. So they are the only one left standing in Tangipahoa Parish, man. But shout out to Mandeville as well on the North Shore getting the win over Airline. Amy did go down to Jenna, but shout out to the Amy Warriors in the season that they had, man. Buckaloosa went down as well. But Kentwood is the only school left in Tangipahoa Parish to represent Tangipahoa Parish, man. So shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos on their amazing season. Shout out to the Amy Warriors as well, man. And shout out to them LSU Tigers over A&M. Jaden Daniels leading the LSU Tigers over the Texas A&M Aggies, man. And shout out to them Jazz, man. Go Jazz. SSSSSSU, baby. SSSSSSU, man. Shout out to the Jaguars, man. Shout out to HBCUs everywhere, bro. Shout out to HBCUs everywhere, man. Shout out to them, man. It's been an interesting week. We got a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about, man. Like I said, Kentwood is the long-standing team in Tangipahoa Parish to advance to the next round, man. So shout out to those kids, man. I haven't got a chance to watch Kentwood this year, but they have always been a talented program, man. So, it doesn't surprise me that Kentwood is advancing to the next round, man. Y'all leave me a comment on Facebook, man. On Facebook, and I am also streaming on YouTube. That's NOTL Mon on YouTube, man. Please like, share, subscribe on YouTube. That's NOTL Mon on YouTube. I'm streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. I used to do Twitter, or what they call X now, but I find it a little difficult to do it on Twitter. So I'm streaming on, and I haven't figured out Instagram yet. I haven't figured out Instagram yet, man. So I'm gonna start streaming on Instagram. I know a lot of our tangible athletes on Instagram. All the kids like Instagram for some reason, man. So I'm trying to figure out a way to stream on Instagram live. But I am going to start posting some clips on there. But man, like I said, all the scores are at the bottom, man. For the round, what was it? Round 3 of playoff football in the state of Louisiana on the North Shore. Mandeville over Airline 56-50. Ruston over Walker 56-17. Amy goes down to Jenna 30-7. Union Parish over Buckaloosa 28-22. Sterlington over Pine, 33-20. Kentwood over Homer, 48-20. U-High. Shout out to the U-High Cubs and my cousin Coach Maryland, man, on getting the win against Lake Charles College Prep, 45-13. LSU Tigers take down the Aggies, 42-30. ULM, 52-21. ULL gets the win, and the Southern Jaguars get the win in the historical Bayou Classic. The Saints let us down once again. Shout out to everybody that's in the live. Shout out to Killer Red right now. Y'all leave me a comment and tell me what you think about this week's sports, man. Tell me what you think about the Bayou Classic. Tell me what you think about Jaden Daniels for Heisman. We're going to cover those topics here in a minute, man. But like I said, I'm out here on the road. I'm in the Charlotte area. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina right now. Y'all forgive me. I'm sweating a little bit. I cut my truck off so y'all can hear me a little better. So I'm pretty much still down south, so y'all know how that go, man. But like I said, I appreciate y'all tuning in to episode 11. We on episode 11, man. It seems like we started this yesterday, man. I appreciate all the continued support throughout these episodes, man. Y'all keep me going. So, man, like I said, all the scores are at the bottom for North Shore playoff football. Also, Louisiana colleges. Not a lot of Louisiana colleges played this week. Um, uh, I know a couple of the schools' season ended last week. So, like I said, shout out to all our Louisiana schools, man. Not only high school but college and the Saints, man. You know, the Saints really let us down today, bro. I think the Dennis Allen. I think the Dennis Allen era is over with. Today was just it was a loss that we shouldn't have lost this game, man. You know, we had multiple, I want to say at least 4 or 5 red zone trips, and we was not able to capitalize in the end. We're gonna get into that a little later, man. But like I said, shout out to all the North Shore football right now and on the high school level, man. Mandeville over Airline, Ruston over Walker. Amy goes down to Jenna. Bugaloosa goes down to Union Parish. Sterlington over Pine. Kentwood is the long-standing Tangible Hope Parish team, 48-20, man. So shout out to them. Shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos, man. Always have been a historic program over the years. So shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos, man, on advancing to the 4th round of the playoffs, man. Best of luck to the Kentwood Kangaroos, man. Y'all come on into this live and tell me your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts and your opinions. I'm here to debate anybody. Anybody who want that smoke can get that smoke. You know what I'm saying? I can easily send you a link to this live and we can get into things, man. We can easily get into things if you want to. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet tonight as well. I know I always say that. I sound like a Southern Baptist preacher when I say that. Or I'm gonna keep it short and sweet tonight, but then I end up going 3 hours on my live, man. But like I said, I am limited when I'm on the road, so I try to keep it shorter than I would when I'm in studio. But like I said, trucking is what I do. You know, this is my day job. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, whenever money calls, I got to go. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all our North Shore football right now, man. Shouts out to them, man. Please leave me a comment on YouTube, on Facebook. Tell me what you think about this week's sports. Are you upset about the Saints? Do you think Jaden Daniels is going to win the Heisman? Just give me your thoughts and your opinions, man. Let me know what you think. Like I said, we are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. I thank y'all for y'all continued support each and every week of North of the Lake with your boy Money Man, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to all our Tangy athletes. Shout out to Nyame Fitness. Shout out to Nyame Fitness, man. All our athletes. Like I said, Kentwood is the lone survivor in Tangible Hope Parish right now, going on to the 4th round. So we wish the best of luck to Kentwood, man. Kentwood has been a historical program. Yeah, I seen a graphic with Kentwood. Kentwood and I want to say John Curtis is the most winningest programs in the history of the state of Louisiana, man. And you know, considering some of the great programs like Edna Carr and all these other great programs in Louisiana, that's pretty impressive to me that Kentwood keeps getting this far into the playoffs and you know all the championships that they have been able to accumulate in Kentwood, man. So shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos. Like I said, I seen that graphic where I think Kentwood, if I'm not mistaken, has the what did the graphic say? I think it said that Kentwood has the most consecutive playoff appearances, and they are tied with John Curtis. I think it's like some crazy number. I think they've been doing it for like the last 30-something years. I don't think Kentwood has missed the playoffs like in 30 years. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to really when you really wrap your mind around it They have not missed the playoffs in 30 years, man. So shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos, man. Shout out to them, man. All the support goes to them. Shout out to the LSU Tigers and Jaden Daniels also for his Heisman race. And shout out to them Southern Jaguars, man. Can y'all hear me well? Leave a comment and let me know if y'all can hear me okay. I don't want to be sitting here talking and y'all can't hear me. But like I said, shout out to the Southern Jaguars and the historical Bayou Classic, which I call it the Black Super Bowl. I call the Bayou Classic the Black Super Bowl, man. So I'm kind of mad at myself I couldn't make it this year, but like I said, you know, when things come up, you got to do what you got to do. And like I said, I'm going to always do what I got to do. You know, come out here and make this money, man. It's holiday time. A lot of freight is moving right now. So, like I said, man, thank y'all for joining for episode 11 of North of the Lake with your boy, Money Mon, man. I appreciate y'all continued support. Continue to support our kids. Continue to support Coach Fleet and the Yame Fitness, man, here in Tangipahoa Parish and on the North Shore. So, like I said, I'm gonna try to keep it short and simple this week, man. Because we are limited when I'm out of studio. But like I said, all the scores are at the bottom for this week's live. Like I said, this is episode 11. I thank y'all for y'all continued support, man. All the scores are at the bottom of the screen. I am streaming on Facebook and I'm streaming on YouTube as well. So shout out to y'all for always tuning in, always giving me y'all support, man. All the scores are at the bottom, man. I did go live at halftime of the LSU versus Texas A&M game. Once again, LSU took down Texas A&M 40-20, and at halftime, the LSU defense was playing horrible. They was playing horribly, man, but they were able to get some stops, to get some turnovers. Y'all know I've been saying for the last couple of weeks that if LSU gets 2 stops and a turnover, they can win any game that they are in this year. And it came to fruition again in that Texas A&M game because that's exactly what they did. I can't remember how many turnovers they got, but they definitely did step up and get some stops. And I know it was at least one turnover. I know for a fact, 1 or 2 turnovers. I think off of an interception, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, shout out to the LSU Tigers, man. Shout out to Jaden Daniels, man. I think he solidified himself as the Heisman. We're gonna talk about that a little later. But like I said, for y'all who just joining me right now, man, all the scores at the bottom. North Shore playoff football. The Kentwood Kangaroos is the lone survivor for Tangipahoa Parish in the playoffs, advancing to the 4th round of the playoffs, man. So shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos, man. Let's recognize them. Let's give love to the Kentwood Kangaroos right now, man. So, you know, shout out to them, man. Historical program. Like I said, I'm gonna give them their flowers. I wish that they can upload their huddle highlights a little sooner because I can get their highlights on live, man. But for some reason, they don't report they don't report their highlights on live immediately after their games. So, but shout out to the Kentwood Kangaroos, man. Always great talent, always great coaching, always great spirit within their city. Football matters in Kentwood, man. So shout out to them. Shout out to the LSU Tigers. Shout out to the Southern Grambling. I mean, the Southern and Grambling, man. Let's shout out our HBCUs here in Louisiana, man. Let's shout them out. Shout out to them for, you know, for all the greatness that they do. You know, man, 2 of the best bands in the country, man. You would never hear anything like the Human Jukebox, man. That's my opinion. You would never hear anything like the Human Jukebox. So shout out to HBCU. Shout out to Southern and Grambling, man. I'm beating myself up that I did not make that game, but I had some business to take care of, man. So shout out to our HBCUs. All the scores are at the bottom, man. I'm gonna get into things here in a minute, man. If you in this live right now, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this week's sports. Let me know if I'm tripping. Let me know if I'm tripping. I think Derek Carr needs. I think we need to have a conversation in New Orleans. I think we need to have a conversation in New Orleans about our quarterback play, bro. I really do. I think we need to have a conversation about the quarterback play in New Orleans, the coaching in New Orleans, and everything else, and also in Baton Rouge. I know Southern is looking for a coach right now. I think Ed Reed could be a possibility. Could be a very, how can I say it? I think Ed Reed can be a very viable candidate for that position, man. So let's look into that. You already see what Grambling. I'm sorry, not Grambling, but you see what Jackson State did with Prime. So I think Southern might need to do something similar. Let's bring in Ed Reed to maybe, you know, try to get some exposure to Southern. Southern is probably the most well-recognized HBCU in the country. So I think Ed Reed at Southern will make a whole lot of sense. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I know he had that breakdown. I can't remember who was trying to hire him. Was it Bethune-Cookman? Y'all let me know in the comments. I can't remember who Ed Reed originally got hired with, but they end up getting rid of Ed Reed. Who was that? Y'all let me know in the comments. I can't remember what HBCU Ed Reed had initially got the job at, but they end up firing our boy, our Louisiana boy, man. I think Ed Reed from the city out there in New Orleans, bro. I can't remember what high school he went to. I want to say Destrehan. But I'm not 100% sure. Let's look it up. Let's see what high school Ed Reed went to. But I think Ed Reed would be a good suitor for the Southern Jaguars on their coaching search, man. They should at least entertain the idea if they don't go ahead and give him the job. Yeah, Destrehan. Ed Reed's out of Destrehan High School, man. So it makes a lot of sense for Ed Reed in that Southern job, man. I think Southern should do it. I mean, what at this point, what do we have to lose, right? I don't think Ed Reed can do no worse than what Doug Williams did or what Pete Richardson did or these other coaches at Southern. So I think Southern might need to give Ed Reed a chance. I know he didn't look very well as a coach. I'm trying to figure out what school did he. Yeah, it was Bethune-Cookman. So Ed Reed had initially got the job at Bethune-Cookman, but Ed got a little emotional. He seen things that wasn't right at Bethune-Cookman. And if you ever been to HBCU's campus, you can relate to what Ed Reed was saying, but it was the way he said it. And I think everybody can learn and get better, man. I don't want to beat down on nobody. I definitely don't want to beat down on Ed Reed, who's one of my favorite players of all time. Ed Reed is one of the greatest football players of all time. If Deion is here, Ed Reed is about right there, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If Deion is here, Ed Reed is about right there. And I put Ed Reed on the same plane as Deion, bro. So I think Southern might need to consider hiring Deion Sanders. I'm sorry. I think Southern needs to consider hiring Ed Reed. He is a Louisiana native, a graduate of Destrehan High School in St. Rose, Louisiana, man. So I think Southern, y'all let me know in the comments, man. I don't want to talk to myself on here now. I don't want to talk to myself on here. So let me know what y'all think about Ed Reed to Southern, man. Let me know what y'all think about that. I think that's a good idea. Not only would it bring exposure, but it would bring money. You see what Coach Prime did at Jackson State. He brought millions of dollars to the city of Jackson. I think that Ed Reed can do the same because Ed Reed is the same caliber player as Deion. He really is, man. I think Ed Reed might have been even better than Deion when you think about the playmaking ability. Ed Reed also returned punts at times. You know what I'm saying? He also had playmaking abilities. He also intercepted the ball. He also played great defense. Ed Reed, in my opinion, is one of the greatest football players of all time, man. I modeled my game after Ed Reed. Ed Reed was my hero. So I think Ed Reed to Southern makes a lot of sense, man. I really do. I know he didn't handle things well at Bethune-Cookman, but Ed, how us Louisiana guys are, bro. We just start firing off, and Coach Maryland is getting ready to join us, man, and talk about their playoff win against Lake Charles College Prep, man. But I just wanted to see. I'm gonna get Coach Maryland's opinion on that as well before we get into into the win over Lake Charles College Prep. Shout out to the U-High Cubs, man. Let's bring them in. Let's bring in Coach Maryland, man. Coach,
Hey,
how
what's
you
going on,
doing,
man?
man?
All right, how you doing, brother?
Hey, bro, I'm good, man. I'm feeling pretty good, man. But them Saints always will ruin your weekend.
Yeah, I
I
heard.
don't.
I didn't get a chance to watch it, man, but I
What
heard what happened,
you
though.
didn't miss a whole lot. It was a whole lot of field goals, a
Yeah,
whole lot of bad quarterback play by both quarterbacks. The Falcons quarterback, man, listen to me, bro. If the Falcons quarterback can play in the NFL, Jaden Daniels is gonna be a superstar. That's my equivalent. Like it was some horrible quarterback play, man. Carr made a couple throws, man, but we just couldn't get the win. But just to go off what I was already talking about, how do you feel about Ed Reed to Southern, man? How do you feel about that? I think it could be a good fit.
I mean, I think after the meltdown, what happened at Bethune-Cookman, I think he. So I saw that he aired out a lot of stuff that wasn't supposed to go public. For everybody to know, man. HBCU schools don't have the same luxury like these Power Five schools or some of the top D1 AA schools. You're not gonna have the best facilities. You're not gonna have enough money to go do recruiting stuff like that. And I kind of get where Avery was coming from, but I think he said it at the wrong time.
Oh yeah.
And I think
I
the way Southern it is, I don't think they'll take a chance on somebody like that, honestly.
I think the same, coach. I think the same, but with the financial issues that our HBCUs have, like a personality like Ed Reed and Deion Sanders might be what we need to level the playing field. I didn't agree with what Ed Reed did at Bethune, man, but I felt his frustration. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. When in 2010, 2011 season, my senior year, Grambling was recruiting me in football. They sent me on an official visit to Grambling. And to be honest with you, I told myself the first school that believes in me, I don't care where they was at. The first school believes in me. I don't care what it was it with D1, D2, or D3. I was going to sign with them, and I was serious about that because I'm just that type of person. If you believe in me, I believe in you. And Grambling was the first school to really show interest in me, and they sent me on an official visit to Grambling, right? And when I got there, man, I I hadn't really been on the HBCU's campus. Now don't get me wrong, my pops had took me to Southern games before, Bayou classes and things like that, but I never really experienced the campus life and everything like that, right? So when I went on the official visit to Grambling, I was surprised by the facilities that like I was like, man, Hammond High has better facilities than Grambling. When I went on my official visit, I was just astonished. Don't get me wrong, I had a great time. I had a great experience at Grambling, but I was like, man, something needs to be done here. And I think what happened, Ed Reed went to Miami. Ed Reed went to Miami, so he got the best of the best. He's a Destrehan graduate as well. And I think what happened with Ed Reed at Bethune-Cookman, I think he experienced what he experienced at Miami. And once he came to Bethune-Cookman, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. And that was kind of what I experienced at Grambling. And no disrespect to Grambling, but it was maybe 2 years after my visit that Grambling actually went on a strike. I don't know if you remember this, but the players
Mm-hmm.
went on a strike, and they kind of refused to like work out and everything like that. But I understand why they did that, because when I visited the facilities, I'm like, man, this is bad. Like it. I mean, like I said, Hammond High had better facilities than Grambling. They had a better weight room than Grambling. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And I didn't realize it. I think Ed Reed, I think his passion got the best of him. Because we grew up idolizing Ed Reed. I know you did. If I did, I know you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Ed Reed is probably the best player I've ever seen play football. Deion, I'm a little too young for Deion. I seen some of Deion, but not his whole career. And I know you're a little older than me, so you probably seen a little bit more Deion than I did. But I don't know, man. I just think Southern should take a chance on Deion, just for the simple fact of I don't think he could do no worse um than what the last guy did. I don't think he can do no worse than what Pete Richardson. Now, no disrespect to Pete Richardson, he was a great. He's a historic HBCU coach at Southern. He had a lot of success. No disrespect to Doug Williams, anybody like that, but I think he can have that same type of impact, man. You know,
But the thing is though, I think you gotta have some support, man. Southern people different, bro. Like I'm telling you now, bro. I could call a few people over there, dog. Like
oh, I
them
know.
people, like they different over there, man. And I know people keep saying they want a celebrity coach stuff like that, man. But you better be careful what you wish for though, because that man can come over there, he can ask for so many demands, but can you back it up though? See, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
It's good to have like the publicity and stuff like that, but Dion, I think that's once in a lifetime type thing when we saw, bro. What
Yeah,
Dion
but
did when he came to Jackson State, he went over there, he changed the whole program, man. He did the whole thing with the transfer portal. Then he went to Colorado. You know, he did better than what has happened previously over there in Colorado, but he still got a long way to go. It's growing too, I think.
a long way to go. A
You know,
long way to go.
and I think you see in schools that's taking chances on coaches and stuff like that, man. But it's just the way how Dion is, man. He just more polarized. I think that's
Yeah.
why he had like more success, and everything. But I can tell you right now, Ed Reed not on the list. I know that for a fact. He's not. He's not on the list for sure.
I think he ruined his opportunity at Bethune. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I thought it was a little. I was surprised about the way Ed Reed handled himself because of the player I idolized as a kid. When I seen him have that tantrum that he had, I was like, man, it seemed a little mental healthish. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the right guy to speak on that. I'm not. I don't have all my bolts and screws tightened together myself, but I think he ruined his chance at Bethune in the way he handled things. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think he would have been a perfect candidate for this job had he not handled things the way he handled at Bethune. But I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like I said, it's kind of surprising when you do go on an HBCU's campus and realize the funds that we do not have. And I mean, we can go into another discussion about why is that and all those type of things like that, because such great institutions with such great history, you would think that we would be further ahead than what we are. And I think Ed Reed was kind of like struck by that. I don't think he had ever been on an HBCU's campus before. I don't think he had, because had he been on an HBCU's campus before, he wouldn't have been as outraged as he was. You know what I'm saying? Because,
Right.
like, I talked to Southern kids, and I brought this up before on one of our lives. I talked to Southern kids who don't even have water some days on the campus. And I was surprised by that. I'm like, are you serious? I thought she was playing with me. I'm like, are you serious? But she was serious. So, that's one thing. So to go into things a little further with Coach Prime, I want to get your take on this too, man. What you think about the season that Coach Prime had at Colorado? They started out pretty hot, 3 in a row, and things kind of fell apart after that, man. What do you think? Because I've seen some interviews he did, and it's kind of, I'm not gonna lie, some of the interviews I've seen him do, some of the things I heard him say kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So about the offensive line, we need a whole new offensive line. Like, could you imagine going to your players at U High and saying, "Look, man, we need a whole new offensive line." Like, what will be the reaction to those kids? So how do you think Coach Prime is doing at Colorado, and how do you think things are gonna be going forward, man?
But I think it's gonna be tough, man, because when you look at his interviews, man, he's always pointing the finger at somebody else to try to fix the situation.
Yeah,
I think that's really his biggest issue, man. And he lost already three of his top recruits. They already decommitted.
yeah,
I think that's gonna really hurt him, man. I think see someone with Dion, man. I think he just really don't have that experience as a coach, man. He just really jumped in it because me personally, I think he did it more because of his kids. I think he jumped in, because of his kids and stuff like that. And who would not, kids, should do it and all them. Who would not want to play with them? They
right,
good enough, dealing them. They gonna make the offense stuff like that. But when things start going downhill, he gonna start pointing the fingers and all that. That's like when he did the whole demotion of Sean Lewis. Like, you just demoted the man, the play caller. You just demoted the man who left his job as a head coach at Kent
right,
State, and he followed you to OC. I'm sorry, he followed you to Colorado to be the OC. Then you demote him whenever the offense wasn't clicking the way you wanted to.
right,
Like, it's like you gotta have time for everything, man. It seems like you trying to rush everything. Like, Rome wasn't built in one day. It's gonna really take time the way you want to get that program the way you want it to. But you better
right.
make sure you got some right people around you, though. That's the thing. That's the key thing. Make sure you got some people, some good people around you.
Yeah, man. Like, I kind of scratched my head when he demoted his offensive coordinator. It's like, bro, y'all was putting numbers up, and
Right,
like in the beginning of the season, I was bragging. I'm like, if we had that same type of play calling at LSU, which I was kind of premature myself with that, because Dem Brock has been, he been showing out. Ever since I made them comments, he must have heard what I said, and him and Jay Daniels just went on a rampage, bro. You know what I'm saying? But they was spreading the ball around pretty good at the beginning of the season, man. So it just like with Coach Prime, like you said, patience, man.
right,
Everybody's not Dion, number one. Everybody's not going to be able to just be great and just be
right,
a generation of talent. I think he has something good. But I think he's going to be his own kryptonite. This is what I asked myself, Coach Maryland. This is what I asked myself about Dion. I asked myself, would I play for Dion? Like me seeing the interviews that Dion has conducted, me seeing it's like a lot of me. I I rarely see him say team. I really say him say the team. It's always me, them. And you know, as a coach, you've been a coach for quite a while now, bro. You know everything. Like you know, even going back to Jackson State, people got on to me when I was criticizing him about the I believe stuff. I'm like, well, when has a? I've never seen a team slogan be with anything with I in it. I've never seen it, and I know it might not be meant for to be in a negative light, but it just seems like it's a lot of me stuff. And shout out to Bomani Jones. But Bomani Jones, a lot of people got onto him. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but he used to be like a correspondent with ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
And he said when Dion was hired at Jackson State, is this gonna be about Jackson State and HBCUs, or is this gonna be about Dion? And so far, I think what he said is becoming kind of true, man. Because I see, it's a lot of, in my opinion, it's just a lot of me and I and my son. Like I don't think that's a good look as a head coach. You know, we all been on little league teams and maybe even some high school teams where the coach's son is the quarterback, and nobody, it almost never works. Like it, even if the son is pretty good at quarterback, you got the parents saying, well, oh well my son better. And he just started his son because, and no disrespect to Shadur, because he is a baller now. He probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country. But it's not a good look on the team, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think with Dion, I think he needs to take a step back from that. Like stop addressing, because I think I heard him in one interview said the offensive line needs to protect my son. I think that was his exact word. We need to
Mm-hmm.
get somebody in here who could protect my son. I'm like, that's not something that you say as a coach, as a head coach. And I guess I
Right.
think I think it's the inexperience at head coach that has Dion in trouble, man. I don't know, man. I wish him all the best, but I'm not so sure how this is gonna work out because I don't know if you remember this, but early on in the season, I warned people. I warned people about Coach Sanders. I said, and the Colorado Buffalo, I said, look, it's early. They beat a struggling TCU team who lost a lot of talent. They turned around the next week and struggled against Nebraska, who quarterback couldn't throw a rock in the ocean. And you go against Colorado State, who not very good. Y'all beat them barely. And I said, y'all need to pump y'all brakes. They was getting a lot of media attention, going into that, going into the beginning of the season, at the start of the season. And I think now Coach Prime needs to humble himself in his program because he got some dudes out there, man.
Right.
Hey, Shadur is the real deal Holyfield. And shout out to everybody in the live right now. Shout out to my teacher, Miss Jackson. She in the live right now. Shout out to Miss Jackson, man. Very a big influence in my life. Shout out to Dwayne Cyprian. Shout out to my pops. They all in this live right now. Y'all leave me some comments what y'all think. And I know Miss Jackson can give me a good take on this. Miss Jackson, I was talking about um Ed Reed to Southern. I thought that could be a good fit for Southern for the exposure. But now we kind of looking at Dion and what he got going on right now. I know Ed Reed had a big blow up at Bethune-Cookman. It kind of made him look bad in a bad light. So I'm not so sure about that now. But I think it's worth the try. I don't think he can do no worse than what Dooley did and what some of the former coaches did. We got a comment. Let's read the comment here. Shout out to my shout out. This is Miss Jackson. Shout out. She said, "Hey, keep doing this. I love this. Look, I love you, Miss Jackson. I love you. I love you to death. This is one of my favorite teachers, man. This is one of my favorite teachers of all time. Shout out to all the teachers, man. It's important in these kids' life, and she is one of them, man. Shout out to Miss Jackson. I'm gonna keep doing it for you. I'm gonna keep doing it for you. But right now, we talking Dion. Is Dion in trouble? I think Dion in trouble, man. Cause look, it's all fun and games when everything going good. You know what I'm saying? It's all fun and games while things are going good. See, they had all that cockiness in the beginning of the season. Oh, do y'all believe now? Well, coach, I don't know if we believe now, man. You had some
Right.
decommits. You had some decommits, some top decommits in your program. So it's not looking good, Coach Prime. I just I understand you, Dion. I understand you the greatest cornerback of all time, man. But you got to humble yourself, Coach Prime.
Right.
You got to humble yourself, man. because it got look the well I know the Pac-12 is no longer existing after this year. Man, the Pac-12 balled this year. I said last year the Pac-12 was probably the best conference in football last year. They was the best conference in football last year. They are the best conference this year. I know they're not playing no defense, but LSU not playing no defense either. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really playing. It's like nobody playing defense this year, bro. I don't know what it is about this year, but this year has been weird, man. It's been weird because it's like no team is really that good. Anybody can beat anybody. I would not be surprised if Washington wins the national championship this year. I would not be surprised. You know, it just wouldn't surprise me because I'm not impressed with Georgia. I'm not impressed with Bama. Bama should have lost against Auburn easily. And that hit, I mean, I thought it was over with, but it's like the underdog against Alabama, bro. They never can get it together. They never can. The underdog against Bama can never get it together, man. But let's talk you high Tigers, man. 45-13 over Lake Charles College Prep. Give us a rundown of what happened in that game, man, and give us the key players, bro.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I know it sounds like I say the same thing over and over, man, but we just really came out there and handle our business, man. I ain't gonna sit here like, it's like these kids, they're on a whole nother level, man. You know, everybody played their part, but Seth Gale, one of my receivers, he went off. He ran a kickoff back.
I seen that.
Return back, and he scored on. We ran a switch route combination. He ran the vertical. And he scored off of that, man. So I think one thing we got to clean up though is penalties. We had a lot of penalties. I think we had like about 13 or 14 penalties. You know, something we really need to clean up. But I think this week it might be probably one of the best defense in the state is St. Charles Catholic. Really, really good team, man. They scrappy. You know, I just hope the kids lock in, man, because this is it right here, man. You know, we win it. We make a trip to the Superdome, you know, that following weekend. So I think today we had a really, really good practice. You know, we went over a few things. The kids, they was locked in. It wasn't all that, you know, goofing around, playing around. They got in the weight room and they got right after it. So we'll see, man. We just, you know, have a good week of practice, and you know, hopefully we go down there to Laplace and, you know, surprise everybody, man. Honestly, because they are the highest seed. They're the number 1 seed in our division.
And who are y'all playing in the next round?
St. Charles Catholic.
St. Charles Catholic. Oh yeah, I know. I got some experience with St. Charles down there, and we used to always go down there and 7-on-7 them down there in Laplace at that park down there, man. St. Charles got some athletes, bro.
They do.
They got some athletes, man. So y'all definitely gonna have your hands full, man. But I do hope y'all are victorious, man.
Yeah.
So like I said, man, Seth Gale, man, he's a 4.3 guy, if I'm not mistaken. He kind of jumps off on the tape, man. And I seen a couple articles on Facebook about Seth Gale, man. Speak on Seth Gale and the talent that he's got, man. He's a burner.
He's good, man. Like, I mean, I've joked with him today. He put a post on Twitter. Was it last night? Might be last night. Saying that, I mean, I kind of had to agree with him. I know I'm being biased because I coach those guys, but I truly do believe we had the best receiver corps in the state. I will put these guys with anybody in the state, bro. And I mean that, bro. They do the little things right. I mean, it's hard to believe, but they really do the little things right. And look, I get on them now. Look, like they be so, you know, come to the sideline, you know, after a drive and all that, and they be so animated about what this and that. I can't say what I want to say now, but they already know how I'm coming. You know, just give us time, man. We will give you the opportunity, man. When we do, man, they make the most of it. They truly do make the most of it. Like Granville Anderson, number 2.
Nice.
Another senior receiver, man.
He nice.
He
Both
came
of them, man.
clutch. He had a clutch moment for us as well, man. So, you know, I'm happy for those guys, man. You know, like I told them, man, I said my first day of fall camp, we went right across the street to LSU, the indoor facility. And I told them, I said, look, I walked all my receivers. I think a quarterback was with it too, man. I walked them right there to the 50-yard line. I said, look, man, I'm gonna tell y'all this, bro. I said, I pointed at Seth and I pointed at Granville. I said, this could be our last Fall camp. Y'all ever have it in a U High uniform? I said, I hate in my spirit not to see y'all be able to get off the bus and walk across the field in the Superdome December 9th. You know, and I said, all the playing and stuff, I said, all this over with. I said, bro, y'all got to remember, bro. I said, I came to the semifinal game. Y'all lost to Dunham last year. You know, I came, like I said, I came and supported Sibley, you know, because he was coaching over there. And I said, look, bro, I saw
Shout out
y'all.
to Sil.
I said, I saw y'all with all the ugly cries, bro. You know, I said, but that's really humble y'all because they already said it, man. Them kids, when I talked to them, man, they really thought they was gonna go up in there and just beat Dunham like that, go to the dome last year.
Right.
You know, you can't have that mindset regardless of who you playing. That's why I keep telling them, man, I got to take one game at a time.
That's right, man.
You know, and so we got to this point now, man. I'm excited for them. You know I'm gonna talk to them individually, like before when we have before the game, when we go through our pregame warm up stuff like that. I still about another 3 minutes, and I just talk to them. I just give them their reel every Friday. So so I'm excited, man. I really am. You know, I'm really blessed to be in this situation. This my it's my seventh semifinal game.
Wow, man.
So you know, I'm really blessed to be in this situation, man. And so hopefully we come away with the victory, man. Get ready to play in the state championship game.
Man, I wish our boys the best of luck, man. Shout out to Commissioner Jarvis Bristol, man. Look, Jarvis, check your inbox. I just sent you the link to this live, man. I want you to come in and talk about North Mid Parish football. But I can confirm what you said about the best receiving core in the state of Louisiana. I think you might be right, man. I seen your boys. I seen Granville. I also seen Seth Gale, man. You got some ballers over there. Gale got that speed, and Granville kind of remind me of Chase the way he moves.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna take it as far as as him being Chase or anything like that. But he got the moves after the catch that I like. We got some comments, man. Let's check out our comments. Oh Lord, here go Commissioner Jarvis Bristol.
Man, tell Jarvis to go ahead with all that, man.
You know what, Jarvis? You know what? You done sat here. Let me tell. No, I'm gonna go. I got this, cuz. Jarvis, listen to me, Jarvis. You have been an Independence Tiger. Y'all logo is the same as the LSU Tigers. You grew up in Independence, Louisiana your whole life, man. You know what I'm saying? How are you a Florida Gators fan? We went to the Florida game together and y'all caught that hot L. You caught the hot L. Coach Maryland was there too. Jaden Daniels put on the most amazing performance we have ever seen. You was there to witness it. You was there to witness it, Jarvis. Jarvis, how, Jarvis? Check your inbox, Jarvis. Come on in. I want you to explain yourself in front of the people. Come on to the front of the congregation. I want you to come to the front of the congregation. We got to discuss this, sir. How, man? How? You are an Independence Tiger. Come on, man. Come on, man. And look, shout out to my teacher, Miss Marquita Jackson, man. My third grade teacher, man. Got a great impact on my life, man. I love this lady. She said, keep molding these young men. As long as I got breath in my body, I know Coach Maryland loves this. This is what he do. You know what I'm saying? If Coach Maryland would have went in any direction but football, it'd have been a disappointment. No, don't nobody love football like this man right here, man. Don't nobody love football like this man right here. I grew up with him. Trust me, man. His brothers to get in the yard, play football. Yeah. you know how it was. Yep. Uncle Mike over there. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, you already know at Uncle Mike's house, man. But shout out to my teacher. Shout out to teachers everywhere, man. This lady had a great impact on my life. So, you know, and let's see what Jar was talking about. I'm at a meeting, cuz dang, if you still on here, when I get out of, I'm gonna come in. Look, I'm bored over here. I'm over here near Charlotte, North Carolina, in my semi truck. So I'm gonna be on here for a good little while. Long as my iPad got battery, I'm gonna sit here and talk to y'all. So, Jar, you gotta come explain yourself. Come on to the front of the congregation. You seen what we did to them Florida Gators, man. And here go Miss Jackson once again. That Daniels is the truth. I am not an LSU fan. So with that being said, Miss Jackson, we're gonna go ahead and get into things, Miss Jackson. We're gonna go ahead and get into them LSU Tigers. LSU gets revenge against Texas A&M, man. Coach, I was watching that game and I went live for the halftime, man. That defense, man, it was like, man.
It's just a different story every week with the defense, man.
it just I don't understand it. It just certain things I don't understand about the defense. Like first of all, A&M had a backup quarterback. Man, shout out to that brother, man. He played a very good game. I must admit that may be who A&M needs to go with going forward. But let me read out the stats, Miss Jackson. Jaden Daniels was 16 of 24, 235 yards, 4 touchdowns through the air. He added 11 carries, 120 yards rushing. Do you know how hard that is? I couldn't do that in a flag football game. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. I couldn't do that in a flag football game. Let me read Jaden Daniels' stats again. 16 of 24, 235 yards, 4 touchdowns, 11 carries, 120 yards for Jaden Daniels. Give the man the Heisman. What you think about that, man?
Oh, I said it yesterday. I was in a group text with my cousin, something like that. They still don't think he'll win. I said he'll win it. Nah, he'll win it because Kirk Herbstreit got up there and said his vote is Jay Daniels, and you got to look at it too because he get a Heisman vote too. And then I ain't like Kirk Herbstreit, he got a bigger platform when it comes to college football. So I think he'll win. I was watching bits and pieces of it because I ain't gonna sit here and lie, bro. I've been watching film on St. Charles like crazy. I ain't gonna even lie to you. But I've been watching bits. I was watching bits and pieces of the game. He'll win the Heisman. I think Malik Neighbors, he should.
Belinda call.
Yeah. And if they give it to Marvin Harris, it'll be just because his name. That's just because why he'll get it.
No, first of all, his stats is not even comparable to Malik Neighbors.
Correct.
So if you don't give it to somebody, give it to Malik Neighbors. If you don't give it to Jaden Daniels,
right?
I don't even think he shouldn't even be into the discussion. To be honest, for the Heisman now, is he gonna be a top 10 pick? Absolutely, he deserves to be a top 10 pick. But as far as the Heisman, I can't give it to anybody but Jaden Daniels. And I see the media. I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. We're gonna talk about Jaden Daniels and Heisman, but the media is trying to set up for Bo Nix. I see that. I don't know why, but Jaden Daniels has 1,100 yards rushing. Dude, man, come on, bro. Like, it got running backs in the SEC that has started every game that does not have 11. That's like Lamar Jackson type of numbers. And guess what Lamar Jackson did that year? He won the Heisman. But let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game itself, man. You know, halftime, I'm like, okay. At halftime, I'm thinking things are looking shaky for LSU. I went live. I was so upset. I went live. I'm like, they is letting Jaden Daniels down. I said, this defense could not stop a cold in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, come on, bro. Like, y'all got to pull together. It's like we couldn't stop. We couldn't tackle nobody. It was just bad, man. It was just a bad performance on the defense. You know what I'm saying? It was just bad, bro. So in that game, bro, what do you think? And actually, though, the defense did come through toward the end. They did get a couple stops, a couple turnovers, but this was against a backup quarterback at the end of the day. He was third string quarterback. He wasn't even the backup. He was the third string quarterback. So what do you take away from the game itself? You know,
offensively, I'm not gonna comment on the offense because I know they kind of start off slow, but I ain't gonna lie, A&M got a solid defense though.
Number one defense in the country. One of the number one defenses.
They got a solid defense, and I think it kind of just took them a while to kind of, get adjusted to them. But the LSU defense, bro, it's
laughable.
The only two things I can really think of is they need to recruit whatever scheme Matt House is trying to play. They need to find the players to fit into that scheme. That's number one. And the number two thing is too, man, I still believe he trying to run the NFL defense. I believe that because ain't no way in the world, they still confusing. I saw at one point, Harold Perkins looking around at the sideline. He trying to figure out what the call stuff was.
Yeah.
So that it has to. Those are my two things about the defense.
And we got.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but
go ahead.
We could sit here and talk about the secondary, like everybody gets hurt and we can't go out and get top names player. At the end of the day, you gotta find a scheme to that strength. That's another thing too, man. I
don't think he's doing that. If you know that you don't have the greatest DB, set some pressure sometimes.
Right.
Like most of the time, I see us rushing with four players. And Harold Perkins is playing nickelback. One of our best rushers is playing nickelback. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And finally, they finally decide to spy him, use him as a spy, and you saw he was effective.
Right.
Imagine if we do that against Bama, we probably
Right.
win the game.
Right.
You know, like imagine if we do that against Bama, the adjustments wasn't made against Alabama, but you finally spy Harold Perkins, and he probably have one of his best games of the season.
Right.
You know, he had a very good game. His name was called a lot. It just seems like, man, like what are we trying to do? Like, I'm not going to buy the LSU. Don't get me wrong. And Coach Buckles came on my live and said during the halftime live that I did that he thinks that LSU doesn't have the talent that we used to have, and I agree with him on that. But I still don't think we just that far behind everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I think we still have some comparable guys that can get the job done. Now, one of the things I think Brian Kelly has to address is the speed on the defense.
Right.
I think he has to address the speed on the defense. You know what I'm saying? It seems like if somebody gets the edge, they got it. Like if you just run a toss play outside, nobody's gonna stop it. Greg Penn is not gonna be able to get out there. Now, Greg Penn is a great player, but he doesn't have that speed of the Kevin Menners, the Devin Whites, all these guys that we used to at linebacker.
Right.
You know, the Duke Rileys and all these outside guys that, and even what was the guy we had? Michael Baskerville. I think we missed Michael Baskerville a lot this year. You know, he was always kind of that road guy, but man, if we had a Michael Baskerville this year, we'll be all right as far as LSU goes. What's up, Jardel? I see you, bro. Look, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna DM you a live to this video, man. If you want to come in here and talk some football, man. Yeah, man. I just think I know we not as talented on defense like we used to be, but man, I think we still got enough talent to stop, at least get a couple stops.
Right.
Man, I've seen it was probably about 5 or 6 times doing, probably more than this. We had A&M third and long. I'm talking about third and like 11, 12. We get a simple hitch at the sticks. A simple hitch at the sticks. The receiver turns around and catches the ball. Our DB is like 2 yards behind him. And the DB is already playing 10 yards off. Like, how do you get beat and you already playing 10 yards off?
It's crazy, man.
I don't get the scheme. Don't get me wrong. Are we what we used to be on defense? No. But I think we still have some talent there. Right. We still have Mason Smith, who's a 5-star recruit. We have Harold Perkins.
But what has he done though?
Nothing.
Like I haven't seen I haven't really seen the impact, that he was supposed to have. I know they was hyping him up last year, but he got hurt against Florida State towards ACL. But when he came back, I haven't seen anything that he's done to impact the defense.
Yeah, and I called him out earlier in the lives that we did earlier this year. I think that injury could have played a role in his development and what he did this year, man. But we got to see more. Yeah. Also, Jacobian Guillory, he's a seasoned player. He was there when Orgeron was there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I want to see more from him. I just feel like LSU has to make a change at defensive coordinator.
Right.
Also at DB coach, because some of the technique I see our DBs playing, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put a comment. I'm gonna shout out to Jardell Edmondson. He said, "What's up, coach?"
Jardell, what's up, big dog?
Shout out to Jardell and his business. I believe his business is Edmondson Photography, if I'm not mistaken.
Good dude,
so
man. Yeah, man.
Great guy.
He did our video and stuff, man, for my wedding, bro. He good, bro. He one of the best ones around, man.
Shout out to him and his business, man. I think him and his wife have their business together. So shout out to them and Edmondson Photography, man. I have a business, so shout out to him. Hey, man, I appreciate you, bro. He said appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you tuning in, man. I appreciate you doing everything you do for the kids as well. He's a coach as well, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen Commissioner Jarvis Brister come up in here talking about some Florida Gators, man. I don't understand it, Jardell. I don't understand what how Jarvis become a Florida Gator fan, man. So I don't understand that, man. But look, coach, we're gonna get you out of here, man. We're gonna get you out of here. let's go through things, and so I can circle back, and we're gonna go ahead and go through things real fast. Did Jaden Daniels do enough to win the Heisman?
I think so. I know we talked about it last week. What he have to do? And I just said it verbatim. I said, just let him go out there, let him play his game. Don't go out there. Don't try to put a lot of pressure on him. Try to pad his stats because he gonna do that anyway. That's exactly what he did yesterday. Came out there, had 11 carries, 120 yards. Came out there, he threw for 4 touchdowns. So I really believe he solidified his spot to win the Heisman.
I do too. And here Jardell was weighing in. He said he did more than enough, man.
Yeah.
We gonna get you out of here. I know y'all got a big game coming up against St. Charles Catholic, man. So we can get you out of here. We're gonna go real fast. We'll kind of do like the fast thing. We're gonna go, okay. What would you grade BK on the season, Coach? Brian Kelly.
If they beat Bama, I probably would have gave him a B plus. But I think overall, man, I'm gonna have to give him a C minus. And my reasoning is, I think he should have had a little more say so in the defense. I think he might have. I don't know, but it didn't show if he did. But I think he should have had a little more say so in the defense and what they need to do. If Matt House doing too much, what he's like, what he need to install or something like that. So overall, man, I would probably give him a C minus.
I agree with that. One more question. Well, a couple more questions. Can Jaden Daniels be an elite NFL quarterback?
Yes, he can, because if you go back, if you break down his film from year one to now, because year one, you got to look at it, bro, he probably even on nobody's radar as a draftable quarterback.
Right.
But, this Sloan came over there. Shout out, hey, Joe Sloan, a good dude. I know him. He was at Louisiana Tech. He was quarterbacks coach now at LSU. But I know Sloan, I know he put that work in with Daniels, bro, and he did everything he had to do to put himself potentially in the first round. Like you said, man, you got quarterbacks like Desmond Ritter. Come on, man.
Right. And I actually made that analogy earlier. If Ritter can be an NFL starting quarterback, I know Jaden Daniels can. He's faster. He's more accurate. He got that moxie about him. You know what I'm saying? He got that I can't be stopped type of attitude with him, man.
But you have to make sure though. Whatever system he go into, you have to make sure that he has. Seth Gill text me. You have to make sure that the scheme is around him. Like he has to have this the right scheme around him.
He does, and I think if he gets the type of offense that Lamar Jackson had early on, I think he'll be okay. I got a whole video on YouTube. Y'all check out that video I did with Jaden Daniels. That's NOTL Mon. I'm posting on the screen now. That's NOTL Mon on YouTube. Please check that video I did about Jaden Daniels. But let's get into the Saints, man. First thing I had, the Honey Badger impresses, man. Honey Badger was the Honey Badger today. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he had 2 interceptions, man.
I didn't get a chance, man. I was listening to it a little bit on the radio because we had a meeting pushed up 30 minutes earlier. At that time of the season for us, so we had to go over some stuff. But I did hear a little bit on the radio, but I was trying to keep up with it, on the ESPN app and stuff like that. But I did see he did pretty good though.
And he did, man. He did real well, but the Saints was not able to get the victory, man. Carr struggled once again. And this is my next question. Is Carter answer at quarterback, man? He struggled today. Don't get me wrong. If you look at the stats, you might say, okay, well, he did okay, but the game itself proved not. He had a couple passes that was behind the receiver that could have led to touchdowns or maybe some more yards. And crucial. And in the red zone, he threw a crucial interception in the red zone that turned the whole game around for us. We had the momentum, and then that interception just killed the game for us, and we could not score in the red zone again. So, man, is Carter answer at quarterback?
Somebody sent me this, and it was very interesting about I want to read it off right quick to you. The amount of division games with 0 touchdowns scored for the Saints this season. Derek Carr with only 2 in 15 seasons with Drew Brees. It was 2. So that's a fact right there, man. Like I said, bro, from day one, I don't believe they should have signed him. I know people say what they want about Jameis Winston and stuff like that. One thing I like about Jameis Winston, he gonna take a chance, let his receiver.
He gonna take a chance. And look, today, I know you didn't get a chance to watch the game. I'm gonna let you get out of here. I know you didn't watch the game today, but if we had Jameis today, Jameis probably would have had 2 picks, but I think we would have won the game
Yeah.
because the way the game set itself up, we had man, no lie, we probably had like 5 or 6 trips to the red zone, and I think we got 4 or 5 field goals out of it, and he threw like a pick six in the red zone. He threw a
Right.
pick six in the red zone. It was just a bad throw. Even if the first guy wouldn't have picked it off because the safety made a great play, but even if the safety wouldn't have made a play, the corner was going to intercept it. So it was just a bad read, man. And
Yeah.
I think right now, if Dennis Allen was serious about his job, he would go to Jameis, man.
Yeah.
Forget the money, forget what you paid him. Pay Derek Carr. I think Jameis Winston is the better quarterback, man.
Yep.
It was obvious today. We lost against Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter might have had 120 yards passing, two interceptions, no touchdowns.
Yep.
No, actually he had one. He had one to be John Robinson. But look, coach, I know you got to get out of here, man. Look, I wish you the best of the luck next week against St. Charles Catholic,
Appreciate
man.
it. If you in town, bro, come
Look,
take it on me. Take it
you
on
know
me.
what? I know I'm not gonna be in town,
Okay.
but look, my birthday is next weekend.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to be home for my birthday next weekend. But if y'all win, now I know you not. I know you can't say this because you the coach. I understand you take it 1 week at a time. But when y'all boys get to the dome, I'm gonna be there to root y'all on, man.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna speak that into existence for you. Look, coach, look, I appreciate you joining me every week, man. Look,
no problem.
y'all go take care of business for me, man. Y'all go take care of business for me, but not only for me, but for yourselves. Y'all had a great season. Shout out to Seth Gare. Shout out to Granville Anderson, some great players. And I was second that. Y'all got the best receiver core in the country, man. Go handle your business, coach.
I appreciate you, man. I get with you, man. Appreciate you again, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
All right, man.
Already, man. Shout out to Coach Madeline and the U-High Cubs, man. They are playing some football down there in Baton Rouge, man. Right off of LSU campus, man. Shout out to them. Shout out to Coach Madeline who join us every week, man. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to Jardell Edmondson. Shout out to my favorite teacher, Miss Tiltonise Montgomery. Please do not get offended by this video, but you up there too. You know what I'm saying? Miss Montgomery and Miss Jackson is about right there with each other. You know what I'm saying? I love my teachers, man. But shout out to her. She said I gotta go keep doing this. Hey, look, I'm gonna keep doing this as long as y'all keep supporting me. As long as y'all keep supporting me, I'm gonna keep doing this. I promise you that. And she also said, I saw a chart where they compared him to Burrow. He deserves the Heisman. I saw that too. And his numbers are actually better than Joe Burrow's up until this point in the season. He has more passing yards, and he also has 1,100 rushing yards. Let's go back to Jaden Daniels' stats for the season, man. It's just impressive. Let's go back to the question. Did Jaden Daniels do enough to win the Heisman? I think he did. I think Jaden Daniels did enough to win the Heisman, man. In my humble opinion, let's go back to his stats for the A&M game. Also, I see a lot of people saying Bo Nix might deserve the Heisman, but Bo Nix don't have 1,100 yards rushing. He's right there with Jaden Daniels in passing numbers and passing touchdowns, but the man got 1,100 rushing yards. How? You know what I'm saying? Like how? Like how do you get 1,100 rushing yards? Like as a quarterback, we haven't seen anything like that since Johnny Manziel, man. And you know what Johnny Manziel did in college football, and it was comparable that he did it against the Texas A&M Aggies, against Johnny Manziel's former team, man. Jaden Daniels on the season has 3,800 yards passing, 40 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. He is first in QBR at 95.6. Man, that is amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know how you do something like that. And on the season, rushing, he has 1,134 yards, 8.4 yards of carries, and 10 touchdowns. So the man got 50 touchdowns on the season. And y'all talking about some Bo Nix. No disrespect to Bo Nix. He had a fantastic season, but I have never seen anything like Jaden Daniels, man. Y'all go to my YouTube. It's NOTL Mon on YouTube. Y'all go like, share, and subscribe. I did a video at the beginning of the season. It's called how did I phrase it? I think is Jaden Daniels. I know it was phrased, can Jaden Daniels be an elite quarterback in the NFL? Because it had a scout that was before the season, it had a scout that was scouting Jaden Daniels as a wide receiver. I lit fire to him because I seen the potential in Jaden Daniels last year. I knew that he was going to take the step this year. Now, did I see what was coming as far as him putting up these type of numbers? No, I didn't see that. I'd be lying if I told you I saw that. But I knew Jaden Daniels had the potential to do what he did this year. You know what I'm saying? I knew he could be in a Heisman conversation. And go watch that video that I did on Jaden Daniels on YouTube. Can Jaden Daniels be an elite NFL quarterback? And I think I know he can. You know, with the type of season, if Desmond Riddler can start for the Atlanta Falcons, Jaden Daniels can start for any NFL team, man. You know, put on a couple pounds, and I think he's actually bigger than I thought he was. He's like 210. I think he's like 6'4", 210. So that's not a bad size. You know what I'm saying? But man, you know, Jaden Daniels continues to impress, man. Y'all leave some comments and let me know what y'all think about that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in this live. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. Shout out to everybody who continues to support my podcast. That's North of the Lake with your boy Money Mon. We on episode 11, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in every week, man. Every week y'all tuning in and showing me that love. We on episode 10 right now, and we talking Jaden Daniels and the LSU Tigers, man. Jaden Daniels with another impressive performance, man, against Texas A&M. Let me read you his stats against Texas A&M, man. It was another impressive performance by Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was 16 of 24, 235 yards, 4 touchdowns. And on the ground, that just is passing yards. 234 yards, 4 touchdowns through the air. He also added 11 carries, 120 yards on the ground. Let's check out the next rusher for LSU. Let's see. Let me pull it up here. So the next guy in Logan Diggs. Logan Diggs had 5 carries, 17 yards, and a touchdown. Jaden Daniels outrushed his running backs combined. He outrushed his running backs combined, man. So when we talking Heisman, bro, it's the best player in the country. I see a lot of people talking about Bo Nix, and they're trying to give it to Bo. They're trying to give the edge to Bo Nix because his team is actually playing for a championship. Well, that's not what the Heisman is about. The Heisman is not about who's playing for a championship on the best team. That's not what the Heisman Trophy is about. It's who is the best player in college football. If you take Jaden Daniels off of this LSU team, I tweeted this. I think I put it on Facebook as well. If you take Jaden Daniels off of this LSU team, LSU is probably 4-8 this year. The only teams we beat this year is Grambling, Georgia State, Mississippi State, and I'm having a tough time finding the fourth team that we could have beat. Let me look at their schedule. Let me look at our schedule this year. Let me tell you the teams that we could have beat without Jaden Daniels, because our defense is horrid. Only teams we beat this year, in my humble opinion, is Grambling, Mississippi State, Auburn, because Auburn. No, I take that back. Well, Auburn is pretty well. Auburn went toe to toe with Alabama. I don't know. So maybe not even Auburn. But let me tell you some guaranteed wins LSU would have won without Jaden Daniels at quarterback. I'm gonna give us Grambling. I'm gonna give us Army. I'm gonna give us Georgia State. And let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say Mississippi State. Mississippi State fired their coach mid-season, right? So that's the only wins I see us winning. We're not going to beat Florida State because we didn't beat Florida State with Jaden Daniels. So we're not going to beat Florida State without Jaden Daniels, who's one of the best college football players I've ever seen. Grambling actually gave us a good fight in that game against Grambling and Tiger Stadium. They gave us a good fight, but I think LSU beats Grambling with or without Jaden Daniels. Mississippi State, I think we beat Mississippi State because of the type of season that they had. So I think if Nussmeier may have been a quarterback, we could have beat Mississippi State. We don't beat Arkansas. That Arkansas game came down to the last moment, if you remember correctly. KJ Jefferson had a pretty good game against the LSU Tigers. We don't beat Arkansas without Jaden Daniels. We lost against Ole Miss. It's not even close against Ole Miss if we don't have Jaden Daniels. Missouri would have beat us easily without Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels took over that Missouri game. Without Jaden Daniels against Missouri, we're not even close. We're not even within 10 points. Auburn. Could we have the final score against LSU versus Auburn was 48-18. But something's telling me if Jaden Daniels isn't our quarterback, we don't win that game the way we win that game. You know, Auburn, we're not gonna get into that. I think any LSU team could be Auburn, whether we got Jaden Daniels or whether we got myself at quarterback, which I can throw that thing. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I can throw it. I can throw that thing a little bit. So we probably could have beat Auburn with me at quarterback. Alabama, no way we beat Alabama without Jaden Daniels. We actually lost to Alabama, but I think if Jaden Daniels doesn't go down in that game, I think we beat Alabama. I'm not gonna say we beat Alabama if Jaden Daniels doesn't go down, but it's a much closer game. It's a much closer game. Florida, we don't beat Florida without Jaden Daniels. I was there. It was a time in that game that Florida had the lead. It was. Matter of fact, I think a nice amount of that game. Well, no, it was for a good moment. Florida had the lead in the LSU versus Florida game. That was one of Jaden Daniels' best games of the season. He went wild against Florida. I was there in person. It was amazing. It was like he was a man amongst boys. He was a man amongst boys again in that LSU game. And Jardell saying yes, we do. Let me know what you're talking about on that. I've been talking about a whole lot of stuff. Let me know. He said yes, we do. He agreeing with me on something, so he ain't crazy. He know what I'm talking about. Um, you know what I'm saying? So against Georgia State, we beat Georgia State. You know, any LSU team, any quarterback is going at LSU gonna beat Georgia State, right? A&M, no, we don't beat A&M without Jaden Daniels. A&M had one of the number one defenses in the country coming into this game. They played pretty well against Jaden Daniels, who was the best player in the country. They just didn't have enough on offense. If A&M has enough on offense, if they have a better quarterback, we don't beat A&M with Jaden Daniels, so we know we can't beat A&M without Jaden Daniels. So that's the point I can make against Jaden Daniels for Heisman, because the Pac-12 never played defense in their whole entire existence, okay? The Pac-12 has never played defense in their entire existence, okay? So there's no way that I can give the Heisman to Bo Nix or Michael Penix. And they have had a great season, don't get me wrong. But none of them has rushed for 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns and still throw 3,800 yards, 30 plus touchdowns through the air. Nobody has done that but Jaden Daniels. So I don't want to hear about Bo Nix going to the Pac-12 championship. They haven't played defense in their entire existence out there in the Pac-12. Jaden Daniels, week in and week out, has played against some of the best talent, the best defenses in college football. So I don't want to hear about, oh, Bo Nix this, Michael Penix that. Jaden Daniels is that dude, man. Jaden Daniels is that dude. He said we beat Bama if Jaden don't go down. Our defense wasn't gonna stop them. We had a chance to flip the table and take the lead. I saw Jaden keep us in games being clutch with his feet and arm. Plus, I'm biased because I'm an LSU fan. I'm very biased too, Jardell. I let everybody know on this platform I'm a biased LSU fan. I love Louisiana. I will root for Tulane. You know what I'm saying, in a bowl game. So I'm very biased toward Louisiana. I'm very biased towards our tangible athletes. I think tangible athletes are the best in the world. So I'm biased too, bro. But I would agree with you. We beat Bama if Jaden Daniels doesn't go down. Now I won't say that. I won't say that 100% that we beat Bama if Jaden Daniels doesn't go down. But it's a much more interesting game because you see, like against Florida, LSU goes down against Florida. Caleb Jackson fumbles a kickoff, and Florida cashes in. They go up by a score or so, right? But guess what? Jaden Daniels comes right back down the field against A&M. We fall behind A&M, but guess what? We got Jaden Daniels. We got a man. We got a man named Jaden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? That saves us. You know that put us on an even playing field, even though our defense is horrible. You know what I'm saying? Can't stop a cold in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, bro. I think if Jaden Daniels doesn't go down, I think we either win that game or we make it a lot more interesting than what it was. You know, and then all these people that's been calling for Nussmeier last year. A lot of LSU fans called for Nussmeier last year. A lot of LSU fans called for Nussmeier in the beginning of the year. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, LSU fans, Nussmeier could be a baller next year. I hope he's a baller next year, but he cannot do what Jaden Daniels. He is not going to rush for 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. I will bet money on that. I would go on FanDuel right now and bet my whole savings on that. I guarantee you Nussmeier is not going to rush for 1,100 yards. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you that. So it's a much more interesting game if Jaden Daniels does not go down against Bama, man. You know, hey, shout out to everybody that's in this live. Shout out to Jordan Edmondson. Shout out to his business. I think his business is Edmondson Photography, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan. You can post it in here. I'll put it on the screen, man. I'm all for promoting black businesses and a small business. I am a black business. I am a small business myself. Shout out to my company, CYP Transportation. Uh, Shout out to everybody that's in this live right now. We talking, did Jaden Daniels do enough to win the Heisman Trophy, man? I think he did. I think I made the point for Jaden Daniels. I see a lot of people. I see Herb Street making the case. I see Audrey 3 making the case for Jaden Daniels. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people making a case for Jaden Daniels, but there's a couple people in the national media that is trying to promote this Bo Nix narrative, this Michael Penix narrative. I seen Marvin Harrison Jr. be put into this narrative, and I don't understand it. I don't understand. Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't even have the stats that Malik Neighbors have, which I think Malik Neighbors should win the Belinakoff Award for the best receiver in the country. So I don't understand how you can say that Marvin Harrison could be in the Heisman conversation. Bo Nix and Michael Penix, deservingly so. You know, they've been balling this year. You know what I'm saying? But the Heisman Trophy is the best player in the country. I think Jaden Daniels is the best player in the country. I would not be surprised if Jaden Daniels is not the number one pick in the NFL draft. And I'm gonna take this part of this video and I'm gonna record. I'm gonna cut it and I'm gonna show this later on. I think Jaden Daniels could be the number one pick in the NFL draft because I have not seen a more dynamic playmaker in my life. And like I said, I did a video on Jaden Daniels before the season. It's on my YouTube page. It's on my YouTube page. It's on my YouTube page. It's NOTL Mon. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube. Go check out the video I did for Jaden Daniels with talking about Jaden Daniels before the season. I warned you. I said he could be potentially be a Heisman candidate. Before the season, I made a video saying, can Jaden Daniels be an elite NFL quarterback? And I said, I think he could be at the time. I really did. I said, it's called Can Jaden Daniels be an elite quarterback? An elite NFL quarterback on YouTube. Go check it out. What I said. It's not that long of a video. And I broke down some of the film of Jaden Daniels because I seen this coming. I knew once he got comfortable in this offense, I knew Jaden Daniels could be elite. I knew that. Like I said, I'm a football nut. I watch a lot of film. I train athletes, so I'm around athletes all the time. I'm around football all the time. I watch football all the time. I played football. You know, I was pretty good at football myself. So, you know, I know talent when I see talent. So, you know, I knew Jaden Daniels could reach these type of heights. And I would not be surprised if Jaden Daniels is a top 10 pick. Is he gonna go first overall? We'll see. But I think he could be a top 10 pick. He should be a top 10 pick. And the Saints should be trying to get him right now. I mean, we should tank right now because right now we're not winning the Super Bowl. Out the question. We can't beat the Falcons with Desmond Ritter. And we paid our quarterback $150 million. $150 to go out there and lose to Desmond Ritter and the Atlanta Falcons. I'm disgusted. So, can Jaden Daniels be an elite quarterback? He can do better than Derek Carr. He can do better than Desmond Ritter. You know? Like, let's be real about this situation, bro. Like, the man can ball, bro. I was there. The Florida game against Florida. Jaden Daniels ran all over the field. It was amazing. It was amazing. It looked like he was a man amongst boys. It looked like how I would look if I go out there and play against a little league team and they put me at quarterback. I'm going to have a field day. I'm going to throw. I'm going to run. I'm going to stiff arm people kids to the ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to just ball out on y'all kids if y'all let me play in a little league game. That's what Jaden Daniels did against Florida. That's what he did against everybody else this year. He make it look easy. He make it look easy, man. He makes it look easy, y'all. Give the man the Heisman Trophy, bro. Stop playing with this man. Come on, man. Give the man the Heisman. I don't care how many games he won. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. I just don't care. I don't care how many games he won, how many games he lost. He is the best player in college football right now, y'all. Come on. Don't do it to the man like that, bro. I know he lost 3 games, but in that A&M game, he proved himself as the best player in the country. He got that Mamba mentality. He got that Kobe Bryant up in him. Well, you know, even when LSU got down in that game, I had hope because of Jaden Daniels, man. I had hope because of Jaden Daniels, bro. Shout out to everybody that came into this live. Shout out to the comments, man. Shout out to my favorite teacher, Miss Marquita Jackson. You know, shout out to Miss Marquita Jackson. She said, hey, keep doing this. I love this. I love you, Miss Jackson. We need more teachers like you. We really do. We really do. And she also went on and said, keep molding these young men. Look, you molded me. So I love you. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Miss Jackson. Shout out to the teachers, man. Shout out to the teachers. We are talking Jaden Daniels for Heisman right now. Can Jaden Daniels be the elite NFL quarterback? I think he can. I think he can. What y'all think? Leave me a comment. Show me some love. Shout out to Jardell Edmondson and Edmondson Photography. Shout out to Black businesses. Shout out to Commissioner Jarvis Bristol and a great job that he does at Mid Parish Football. Been doing it for over 15 years now, 15 years plus. You know, shout out to him. Shout out to Coach Fleet and the Yame Fitness. I hope Coach Fleet can join me. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna go on this live tonight, but we gonna see. I'm bored. I'm in my truck right now. You know, I'm over here in North Carolina, so I don't have a lot to do right now. So y'all come in here and holler at me. But right now, we're talking, can Jaden Daniels be an elite NFL quarterback? I think so. I think so. The proof is in the pudding, man. Give the man the Heisman Trophy, bro. Give the man the Heisman Trophy. Give him the Heisman Trophy. Or we gonna ride here in Louisiana. I'm gonna start a ride. I'm gonna start a ride. If y'all don't get this man a Heisman Trophy, I'm gonna start a ride. I'm gonna start a ride. Virtually. Virtually though. I'm not gonna do it. Please don't come arrest me. I'm talking virtually on Facebook. I'm gonna start a social media riot. Let's clear that up because I don't want no charges, pending against me for inciting a riot. I don't want that. I don't want that. All right. So, but give the man the Heisman Trophy, so I don't have to do anything crazy. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So, what grade would you give Brian Kelly this season? Coach Maryland gave Brian Kelly a C minus. I like that. I like that. I give him a C plus, and this is why. I give him credit for the offense. I give him credit for recruiting Jaden Daniels. I give him credit for campaigning for Jaden Daniels for Heisman. I give him credit for letting Jaden Daniels stat pad a little bit so he can accomplish his goals of being a Heisman. I give him that, I give him that much. But this is where I criticize Brian Kelly. As great of an offense that you had, we lost to Florida State. We lost to Ole Miss. We lost to Alabama. This is the SEC. We compete for national championships here at LSU. We compete for national championships. Not no Cheez-It Bowl. We don't compete for the Cheez-It Bowl here at LSU. in Baton Rouge. You know how LSU fans is. I might be the biggest LSU nut there is. We don't compete for the Cheez-It Bowl here at LSU. We compete for national championships. There was some questionable calls in that Florida State game. Some questionable calls in that Ole Miss game. Some questionable calls in the Alabama game. We don't spy in the Alabama game. We don't spy Harold Perkins not one time against a. I mean, Alabama's quarterback Jalen Milroe is more of a runner than he is a passer, and we don't spy him one time in the Alabama game. I don't remember him spying Jalen Milroe the entire night against a quarterback who prefers to run the ball. Not very good, not very accurate on the deep ball. We talking Jalen Milroe. And you don't spy Harold Perkins one time that night. In my recollection. So my grade is a C plus. Coach David Maryland of U High gave him a C minus. I think that's kind of where I'm at too. But I give him a C plus because of how great the offense was. Okay? Offense was great. Unbelievable. Second to none. Probably better than the 2019 offense with Joe Burrow. But the defense was just that bad. If the defense was average, I would probably give him an A minus this year. If LSU's defense is average, Brian Kelly would get an A minus from me. But we don't have those dudes on defense. I said it earlier this year. Why are we recruiting tight ends at LSU? Why? We have never won a championship with a great tight end. We have never won a championship with a 5-star tight end. But I can tell you what we did win championships with. 5-star cornerbacks, 5-star safeties, 4-star linebackers, 4-star defensive ends, defensive tackles. We don't have that right now. We don't have 5-star cornerbacks, safeties, linebackers that can run, linebackers that can tackle in space, cornerbacks that can come up and make tackles in the run game, cornerbacks that can play bump and run man coverage. We don't have that. So I give Brian Kelly a C plus, and that's only because of the offense. Had it not been for Jaden Daniels, I give Brian Kelly a F. If we don't have Jaden Daniels this year, we ain't got ourselves nothing at LSU. So that's why I give Brian Kelly a C plus, and that's only because of Jaden Daniels. That's only because of Malik Neighbors. That's only because of Brian Kelly. That's the only reason why I'm sorry. I said Brian Kelly. Brian Thomas. But Brian Kelly gets a C plus for me this year. Coach David Maryland of U High gave him a C minus. I don't think that's far-fetched. I don't think that's far-fetched. Y'all leave me a comment and give me the grade of what y'all think Brian Kelly did this year. I gave him a C plus. Coach Maryland gave him a C minus. I don't disagree with that. My C plus comes from Jaden Daniels and the offense. I think Matt House got to be out of here. If you want to put yourself on the hot seat a little quicker, Brian Kelly, leave Matt House at defensive coordinator. Leave the guy that you got at DB coach at LSU. Those two guys got to be out of here. Defensive coordinator and DB coach got to be out of here. If you want to save your job, Brian Kelly. We are the most impatient fan base in the country. Les Miles won a championship. He was fired. Ed Orgeron had the greatest college football team in the history of college football. Won a championship. He was fired. You think you're untouchable at 9-3, 10-3 last year? You think you're untouchable? Losing to Bama this year, lost to A&M last year, lost to Florida State this year, lost to Florida State last year. You think you're untouchable? Coaches have done a lot more and got fired a lot quicker than you. Les Miles probably has a better tenure at LSU than you did. Or Ed Orgeron, you know, the last 2 years he had wasn't great by any stretch of the imagination. But he had the greatest team to ever play college football. You probably had one of the best quarterbacks to ever play college football, but what did that get us? They got us 9-3 and headed to the Citrus Bowl or something like that. I haven't checked it out. I don't know what bowl we're gonna be in yet. But what has that got us? I'm just saying. Don't kill the messenger. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Don't kill the messenger. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't kill the messenger. Because it's not looking, outside of Jaden Daniels and Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors, we don't have many positives on the season. Can y'all give me one? Outside of Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors on the season, we don't have many positives at all. So, thank everybody for commenting, man. I had a lot of interactions tonight, man. Shout out to everybody who came to the comments. All the scores at the bottom for North Shore football, also college football in the Louisiana area, and also those Saints. We're going to get into those Saints here in a minute. We're going to get into those Saints here in a minute, but I give Brian Kelly a C+. I give him a C+, okay? I give Brian Kelly a C+, and it could have easily been an F had it not been for Jaden Daniels, man. Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, and we had some good player running back this year, but Jaden Daniels was our leading rusher with 1,100 yards this year, man. I think maybe Mike Denbrock maybe needs to be the head coach. He seems like he was the only thing that we had going for ourselves, you know. So shout out to him. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yes, sir.
You're in reserve parking. You either got to pay or move it.
I've been here all weekend, man.
You're telling me.
I'll move in a while.
I'm sorry.
Y'all forgive me. I'm at a truck stop. So yeah, I would give Brian Kelly a C+. That's all I would give Brian Kelly. So you know, that's just where I'm at with it, man. I'm gonna do a couple more minutes on this live. I'm gonna get out of here. Uh, let's go to the Saints. We're gonna get right into the Saints. Let's get into the Saints. The Honey Badger. One of the bright spots of the Saints. The Saints loss against the Falcons was Tyrann Mathieu. It was good to see. It was good to see Tyrann Mathieu once again, man. It was good to see Tyrann Mathieu be the Honey Badger once again, man. He had 2 interceptions on the day. One of the lone bright spots for the Saints, man. They went down to the Falcons today, man. It was a tough loss. 24-15, the Falcons over the Saints, man. It was a tough loss for our Saints, man. But I think our season is pretty much. I'm not gonna say it's over with. It's never over with. We're still in contention for the NFC South, but it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. From any side of things, it just doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? With the Saints, man, it just defense is still playing pretty well. The Saints defense did everything they could today to keep the Saints into the game, man. They did everything that they could to keep the Saints in the game. But like I said, once again, the quarterback play is just not up to par. The money that you gave Derek Carr, you could have spent on other areas mainly the offensive line and the defensive line. I feel like the Saints could have spreaded that money out. I said it before on previous lives. I think the Saints could have spent that money elsewhere on the defensive and the offensive line. So, I just think that it's the writing is on the wall. The writing is on the wall for the Saints and Dennis Allen. I don't think it's going to be anything good come out of keeping Dennis Allen, keeping Pete Carmichael, keeping Derek Carr. I think it's just time for a rebuild with the Saints. For the longest we've been kind of plugging and placing, and also just it's been kind of plugging and playing for the last couple of years, especially Drew Brees last years. We've been kind of like just surrounding Drew Brees with some talent on defense, a couple of receivers that nobody knows about, and kind of just being in contention every year. But I don't think we have that type of offense. I don't think we have that type of quarterback. I don't think we have that type of head coach going forward. So, man, I want to be optimistic about the Saints. I really do. I want to be optimistic about the Saints, but I just don't see it this year. I just don't see it this year. I want, like I said, I want to be optimistic, but Derek Carr just did not look good today. Let's get into the stats of Derek Carr and the Saints, man. It just doesn't look good to me. Now you're gonna see, okay, Derek Carr was 24 or 38. Yes, he threw for 304 yards, but he threw a very costly interception in the game. In the game, the Saints got into the red zone many times. I think either the first or second time we got into the red zone. I think the first time we got in the red zone, it was a field goal. The second time it was a pick six by Derek Carr. And so, you know, with that being said, it doesn't look to me like Derek Carr is the answer at quarterback. It had a couple plays in this game where if Derek Carr puts the ball out in front of the receiver, it's either a first down or a touchdown, right? It's either a first down or a touchdown when it comes to Derek Carr, man. And it's just a couple. It's just some of the throws he makes sometimes. That pick six that he threw to I can't remember the guy from Atlanta, but I think he was a safety. He pretty good play on his part, but it just looks bad. It truly does. It looks bad. It just looks bad, man. Some of the plays Derek Carr made. It was a memorable third down with Derek Carr. He kind of scrambled a little bit. He got away from the pressure, and then he throws like a 2-yard check down that just wasn't going nowhere. And this third down, it's a pivotal point in the game. I would rather see you throw it up and let your receiver get a chance at making a play on the ball, rather versus you actually just throwing it down to a running back. I think it could have been Jamal Williams on the play. He just threw it to a running back and it was going nowhere. You saw that it was going nowhere. It's 3rd and 6. The game was on the line and you just do that. Honestly, I thought he probably could have ran for the first down in that situation. It's just not very good football on the part of the Saints, on the part of Derek Carr. I just don't like it. I don't like Derek Carr quarterback. I think Jameis Winston gives us the best chance to win. I just don't like Derek Carr quarterback. I didn't like him in Oakland. I thought this could work out if he played his best football. I thought it could work out better if Sean Payton was the head coach for the Saints. But Sean Payton's in Denver, and Denver is rolling right now. So I don't like Derek Carr quarterback. I don't like Dennis Allen, that head coach. I'm just being candid and honest. I don't have to answer anybody. So I could just say what I want to say on this. This is my platform. I don't like Derek Carr quarterback. I would prefer to see Jameis going forward. I think we've seen enough of Derek Carr. I don't think it's going to get any better. I think Derek Carr is who he is. I don't think it's going to get any better going forward, man. I just do not think it's going to get any better. So shout out to Jameis Winston, man. I think Jameis gives us the best chance to win going forward, man. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. I'm getting ready to get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. But, the Saints are weekend killers, man. The Saints are weekend killers. It's like we just can't count on them. We just can't count on the Saints, man. We can't count on the Saints to You know, LSU won, Southern won, and here come the Saints. Here come the Saints. Here come the Saints. Here come the Saints, man. But like I said, I appreciate y'all tuning in to another live, man. This is episode 11, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. It was a lot of interaction tonight, and I appreciate that. So, man, anytime y'all see me go live, you are welcome to come in. Like I said, the Saints won against. The Saints went down to the Falcons 24-15. We kicked like 100 field goals. If we turn half of that into touchdowns, it's a blowout. It's a win for us. But like I said, field goals are not going to win in the NFL. We are tied with the Atlanta Falcons in the division, 5-6. The Falcons may actually have the upper hand on us. I think the Falcons are actually have the upper hand at 5-6 because they did beat us. So man, like I said, the Saints are weekend killers, bro. The Saints are weekend killers. Whoever just tuned in, let me know, man. Leave a comment. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'll shout you out if you got a business, if you got a platform of your own that you want to shout out. I will shout you out. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about the Saints. Let me know what you think about the LSU Tigers and Jaden Daniels for Heisman. Let me know what you think about the platform in general. That's North of the Lake with your boy Money Mon. We on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. That's NOTL Mon on YouTube. Please give us a chance and check out the content. I did a video on Jaden Daniels before the season, and that video is titled "Can Jaden Daniels be an elite NFL quarterback?" Go check it out because I called this. I called this before the season. I knew Jaden Daniels had an opportunity to be great, so I did call this before the season. So please check that video out. Check us out every Sunday at 7 p.m. That's NOTL Mon on YouTube. Check us out every Sunday at 7 p.m. I'm getting ready to get out of here in a minute, y'all. Shout out to everybody that watched this live. If you wanna come into this live, let me know. I'm getting ready to get out of here in a minute. But shout out to everybody that did join us. We almost at the 2 hour mark right now. Um, like I said, I just talked about them Saints, man. Them Saints are weekend killers. We had LSU win. Jaden Daniels with his special performance. We had Southern. Southern took care of business in the Bayou Classic. Shout out to HBCUs. And here come the Saints, man. Here come the Saints, bro. You know, the Saints are weekend killers, bro. I was having a great weekend. Here come the Saints. You know, lackadaisical on offense. Derek Carr can't throw a rock in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? I think Jameis Winston. I think we got a call for Jameis Winston right now, bro. I truly believe that. I think Jameis Winston is the answer quarterback. But I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer. I thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of North of the Lake with your boy Money Mon. Y'all continue to like, share, subscribe on YouTube. That's NOTL Mon on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Shout out to our Tangi athletes. Shout out to all our Naomi fitness athletes. Man, I appreciate y'all joining this live. This is episode 11. Thank y'all for tuning in with your boy Money Mon. Y'all have a great week. Monday is a work day. I know I will be working. Do whatever you gotta do to provide for your family. Do whatever you gotta do to better yourself. Like I said, let's start the week off strong. Thank y'all for tuning in to North of the Lake. This is your boy Money Mon, and I'm signing out. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate the support.